Hi lovies, welcome back to today's video. Today I am starting something new that I'm going to be incorporating weekly on my channel, and it's going to be the subreddit Am I the Asshole, where I basically go through some of these. I'm going to just do them very randomly. I'm going to read the Am I the Assholes, I'll give you my opinion, and you guys can leave your thoughts down below. So without further ado, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you let me know your opinion on whether or not you think these people are the asshole or not. Let's just get right into it.
I shine so bright, you might go blind, blind, blind. When I walk through, they close it.
Our first story is, am I the asshole for refusing to help my parents keep their home since it's my brother's fault they are losing it? Let's see what this man has to say. Growing up, anything that went wrong in my house was my fault. I wasn't a good student and I smoked a lot of weed. Same. My brother was perfect, he got good marks, and he went to university. I went to trade school and learned how to weld. Okay. My parents started demanding rent. I paid. It wasn't much. Then I found out they were giving it to my brother for spending money. I'd be mad as hell, I'm not gonna lie. After I left, they noticed stuff had been stolen. They blamed me. Spoiler alert, it wasn't me. Hey, so my perfect brother went to jail. Turns out no matter how smart you are, the SEC is smarter. What is the SEC, y'all? Is this guy from like the UK? I don't know. My parents asked me for help with his legal bills. What in the hell? I politely declined. They ended up helping him so much that they had to re-mortgage their paid off house, which they are now having trouble paying back. Interest rates have gone much higher than when they did this. Yeah, side note guys, like if you guys have not been following what the fuck is going on in the world, people with credit scores of like 800 are having interest rates of like 7.6% on their homes. I will not be buying a house anytime soon. Anyways, they called to ask me for help. I asked them if they ever figured out who really stole from them. They declined to answer. We both know the answer. My mom said she was sorry she accused me, but still would not admit it was him. I kind of feel bad because I could help them. I probably have enough put away just to pay off the house, but that means I helped my brother, and seriously, fuck that guy. No, honestly, I feel like this guy is so valid for not doing that, because the way his parents have treated him and the way he's seemingly done everything he possibly could to stay in their good graces, and obviously his brother was the one who was always fucking them over, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would be different if they hadn't accused him of doing so much that he didn't do when it was really the brother, and it sounds like they have some like weird fucked up favoritism. So like truthfully, oh, that's hard. Like if it were my brother and these were the circumstances, I would be like, no, like, no. Let's see what some of the comments say though. It says, have you considered paying the house? Okay, one of these people says, have you considered paying the house off in exchange for them putting it in your name? That way, when you pass a loan, would inherit the house and therefore recoup your money. You could give them a life estate, only requiring them to pay taxes and upkeep. What? Why the fuck would I do that? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me be nice. Let's see. Someone says, gotta tell ya, I would not be interested in the work required to enforce that because they don't live near one another. Yeah, that's just like too much work. Whoever suggested that is a dumb nut. Like what? Don't help him, dude. Seriously. Yeah. Buy the house from them. Why are all these people saying to buy the house from them? Okay, this guy says, buy the house from them, make them pay back rent if you want, and tell them your brother is not welcome in your home. Okay, I feel like, okay, don't get me wrong, like obviously the parents are definitely in the wrong, but that seems like real fucked up, to be honest, to buy your parents' house because they can no longer afford to have it and then charge them rent. Oh, nah. No, I think honestly this guy just shouldn't help him. He should just kind of like move on, leave his parents behind. I know that sounds like that sounds really harsh, but like honestly, like if I had a family like that, like I would just separate myself, create distance, and nah, they can deal with that themselves, because all of those years they didn't really give a fuck, right? Like they blamed you for stuff that your brother was doing, so now they can see. And the fact that your mom wasn't willing to understand or even recognize the fact that you didn't steal anything and she blamed you for no reason. Like, no. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, this next one says, am I the asshole if I don't attend a wedding as a +1 because I didn't get my own invite? I, 25 female, am really close with my cousin, a 26 male. And over the past 2 years, I have gotten close with the people in his friend group. Okay, I've attended a lot of parties they've thrown, including birthday, Christmas, and Halloween, as well as casual hangouts on a Friday night. I've also invited them to my birthday party. I'm in their group as well. I'm in their group chat as well. I felt like I was good friends with all of them, especially the girls. One girl, let's call her Kelly, is engaged to a guy in the group. Let's call him Ken. Kelly and Ken invited me to their engagement party about a year ago, to which I brought a gift and had a grand old time with them and all of their friends and family. Okay, so far we've got the female who is 25, who is a part of her male cousin's friend group, and she is friends with a lot of the girls. One of these girls is engaged to another guy in the group, and she's saying that she was invited to the engagement party, had a grand old time. About 3 months ago, my cousin came over to hang out, and he said, "You didn't get an invite to the wedding." And I said, "No, I didn't." He then told me that Kelly and Ken really want me to come, but I must come as someone's +1. And I had to pick which one of the guys in the group to be my date. This caught me off guard, as I honestly found it tacky. If they want me there, why wouldn't they just send an invite? Okay, see, like, I feel like that's hard because, like, okay, it just makes me wonder how close she truly is to this couple. And at the same time, it's kind of like one of those things, like, I know weddings are super expensive, and like, I'm sure you can only have like a select number of people on your invite list in order to fit the budget. So, you know what I mean? Like, if the groom is closer to the guys in the friend group than his fiance is to her, then I feel like, but you know, I don't know, like, it is kind of weird for them to like invite her to the engagement party. She like brought a nice gift and everything, and then they don't just like send her a formal invite, especially if you know that she's coming anyways. Then like, it wouldn't save you money to not send her an invite, you know what I mean? Well, let's keep reading. 3 months later, I still had not been invited to the wedding by that friend, so I figured he had found another date. It didn't really bother me because the whole situation made me feel kind of icky. Well, he texted me today asking me to be his date. I told him I would let him know because I might have work. After all, I didn't get to save the date or an invite, so I didn't really have the chance to request work off. He told me the RSVP date is in like 2 days. I also found this kind of tacky. Why invite me so last minute? He said that Kelly and Ken told him they really want me there. Kelly and Ken kind of sound fake, I'm not gonna lie. Because like, why would, that's just so weird. Like, that's really weird. Like, what does it take for you to just like simply send an invite? Like, if you guys are that close and they want you there that bad, they could have sent you your own invite, or at least told you when the fucking wedding was, you know? Even if it was like an informal invite, you know, even if you didn't get one in the mail, they could have at least like sent you like an email, you know what I mean? Like one of those like e-invites. She says, I can't read. She said, I thought we were all close enough friends that I would just get an invite. After all, I was invited to the engagement party, to Kelly's birthday party, to Ken's birthday party, and they came to my birthday as well. I honestly thought we were all good friends, but now I'm thinking we aren't as good as friends as I thought, or even friends at all. This whole no invitation +1 situation makes me uncomfortable. Would I be the asshole if I don't attend the wedding because I'm uncomfortable with this? Or maybe I'm being overly sensitive. No, bitch, I would not attend the wedding. No, you clearly don't want me there enough if you cannot send me an invite, okay? And as far as the guy who invited you a couple of days before he had to RSVP, it sounds like his initial date option fell through and you were like the second option. But I could be reading too far into that, but let's see what the comments say. Let's see. Okay, it says best case scenario to me is they are trying to set you up with one of the other single guys. Reddit people don't know how to fucking type. Anyways, it says best case scenario to me is that they are trying to set you up with one of the other single guys, but that is likely the best case scenario, and it's still weird and gamey. I think you're doing the right thing here, rethinking the friendship. I agree. My thought too, or guy number 2 had a crush on her and her choosing was meant to make it easier. What? This person says they are not your friends. If you notice they are only inviting you to get-togethers that require a gift. I didn't even think about that because they were birthday parties and an engagement party. These people are takers. They only want you around based on what you can give them. If they wanted you there, they would have sent you an invite. You're probably on their cornered list of guests and are only inviting you to fill a seat, but are hoping that you won't show up or something. It's very calculated what they're doing. I wouldn't go and I would drop them. They're not your friends. If they were, you would have gotten an invite of your own. Yeah, exactly. They obviously don't want you there that bad. It all sounds like weird behavior. This is why I'm happy I have a small group of friends, because people are so weird. Like, It says, am I the asshole for telling my husband some of the comments his mom has made while out in public? In-law tea? Okay. I, 33 female, have been with my husband, 39 male, for 12 years. We have a child that plays co-ed soccer. We've always invited his mother-in-law, who is 70, to see his games. Mother-in-law has a tendency of just speaking what's on her mind, even if they are not appropriate, like typical 70-year-old women do. She likes to comment on some of the players on our kids' team over the years. Some of the comments have been about how they run funny. We've had a few special needs kids. Oh, damn. Or how a girl with short hair looks like a boy. Okay, well, that's not too bad. Like, anyways, this past weekend, our kid had a game and one of the boys on his team has long hair, and she kept referring to him as she. Maybe she didn't know. I corrected her and said it was a he. She replied back, well, it's hard to tell when they have long hair. True, especially at that age. The boy passed us and she asked me rather loudly, are you sure he's a boy? He has boobs. What the fuck? I sat up and just gave her the what the fuck are you serious look, and she replied with sorry, and ended the conversation. But I'm sure the couple next to us heard. Well, yeah. After the game, I told my husband as he was coaching during the game what his mom had said, and I told him I wouldn't have cared for her comments, but she really needs to be mindful of what she says in public. Yeah, I mean, like, I agree, but like at the same, like, she's 70, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like my grandma would say some out-of-pocket shit, and she's like, you gotta understand that at a certain age you just become unhinged. You've been around for too long to really give a fuck, but I understand. Luckily, the boy's parents were not sitting next to us, but I told my husband she put me in an uncomfortable situation, and what if the parents were nearby and had heard it? I get it, especially if your husband is the coach and you're like the coach's wife, you want to, you know, yeah, I get it, okay. He reached out to his mom, telling her she needs to stop making comments about the players while at the games. If she needs to comment on something, she should wait until we are home. They usually come to our house after, or not say them at all. She replied with, she can say whatever she wants whenever she feels like it, and maybe she won't keep coming to the games. My husband told her if she can't keep the comments to herself, then maybe she shouldn't. So am I the asshole for telling my husband about her comments? No, I don't think so. I think it would be different if, like, your husband was just like another one of the parents, but the fact that he's a coach, I feel like her making those comments that are just rude about his players, especially those players being kids, it's like that paints him in a negative light because he is associated with her. You know what I mean? Like, I think if he wasn't the coach, then it would be like, okay, like, you could have probably just, like, you know, kept that to yourself. But obviously it was something that needed to be addressed so that it doesn't happen more frequently, you know what I mean? And just him being the coach, like I said, I feel like it's so important to have like that professionalism. And yeah, no, that, I don't think you're the asshole for that, honestly. I think that that is a fair statement, and you know, if she isn't willing to at least censor herself, knowing her son is literally the coach of the team, then she probably shouldn't go. But let's see what some of the comments say. Not the asshole, her comments are inappropriate and unkind. She should stay home if she can't exercise discretion and self-control. I completely agree. There is no world in which the opinion is an oh wait, what is an OP? There is no world in which the original poster is an asshole for consulting with their partner about a problematic situation that could affect their kid. Exactly, and his career, to be honest. Let's see, one more. Not the asshole, a 7-year-old woman who thinks it is her right to be loudly a homophobic bully toward young kids has no right being around those kids. You're right that it could cause serious problems. You're lucky it didn't at this time, and she is 50+ years older than the impressionable children she's harassing. I really hope, despite her intent to shame that boy for his weight and length of hair, he didn't hear her, or he's just a cool AF child who never gets bothered by that kind of BS. Okay, yeah, I agree, but I think calling her a homophobic bully is a bit of a stretch. That's a stretch, but yeah, okay. On to the next. Am I the asshole for telling my stepdaughter she can take a break from college without running it by her parents? yeah, before I even start, I have a feeling you're the asshole, because unpopular opinion, it's not a step-parent's role to parent a child. And I just feel like that's kind of like it's one thing to like tell her, like, you know, do whatever makes you feel comfortable, but throwing it in there to tell her that she could do it without running it by her parents, especially if they're paying for it, which we don't know yet, but if they are paying for it, then like, yeah, you're out of pocket. You're an asshole. Okay. I have a 20-year-old stepdaughter. I have known her since she was 8, and I know she is very smart, but school is not her thing. I knew it wasn't her thing when she was in high school, but she tested high enough to get by. Okay. Now she's in community college. Her first 3 semesters really messed with her mental health. She was a STEM major and didn't want to believe that it wasn't for her, so she did it until she got to the point where she stopped sleeping and eating from the stress. Yeah, same. I originally went to college for pre-med because I thought I wanted to be a psychologist. Yeah, after the first year I was like, no, this shit is not for me. Okay, let's see. I talked her into changing her major into early childhood education. Okay. She's been working at a daycare for 2 years and she loves it. She seemed relieved about the change of major for a minute, but when school started again, she was feeling defeated and had no self-confidence. Yeah, welcome to the club, bitch. As a result of that, she did not do well this semester either. On Saturday, she came into my room shaking like a leaf and had tears streaming down her face. She was either failing or barely passing all of her classes and was in a really bad place mentally. The first thing I suggested to her was quitting her job, but she shut that down immediately. She says her job is the only thing that has been making her feel good about herself, and her head is huge. Okay, anyways. She says her job is the only thing she has making her feel good about herself and that she needs it, so my next suggestion was taking a break from school. Maybe the summer and fall, and she can focus on herself and address her mental health, hopefully with a psychologist. Going into the semester feeling defeated and that she can't do it is not going to help her. Agreed. I agree. She liked that idea and told her dad she was going to take some time off to focus on herself. He asked who told her she can do that, and she said, I did. Now he's mad at me for telling her to take a gap semester to get therapy and gain some self-confidence before she goes back to school, and says I should have talked to him or her mom before I said she can do that. He's talking about making her pay rent while she's not in school and got mad when I told her I'll pay for her because I really want this time to be about her and helping her now so she doesn't have a breakdown at the end of every semester. Am I the asshole for telling her she can take a break without running it by her parents and promising to pay for her when her dad threatened to make her pay rent? Yes. Okay, yes and no. I think that you giving her advice is fine because it doesn't sound like you blatantly told her that, you know, she needs to take a break from school. You were just giving a suggestion to her because, like you said, she was shaking, she was doing all of the shit, you know, she was not in a good place mentally. But like, I see where her parents are coming from because it's hard because college is fucking hard, and I do understand school is not for everybody, but I also do feel like a lot of people who take a gap year never actually end up returning. And unfortunately, like, I hate to play the whole, like, we live in a soft society, but at the same time, like, college is not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. Your mental health is not good during college for pretty much every single major because it's just so much, okay? It's expensive, you're learning a lot, and, like, your professors at the end of the day don't really give a fuck about you. So it is a lot. And school is not for everyone, of course. But I do feel like, you know, like, I don't know. It's hard. Like, I feel like taking a gap year isn't the worst thing either, though, because she's not saying like, oh my gosh, I'm not going back to school. I do think, though, that it is overstepping to say that you are going to pay for her rent if her father wants to charge her, you know, for staying in the house if she's not attending college, because I think that is fair. I moved out, but before I moved out, that was a conversation my parents were having with me, even though I was, I was 20? Yeah, I was 20. It was before I was 21 for sure. But you know, even my parents were like, you know, if you're gonna stay here, not like move out, you know, we're gonna charge you like this amount in rent. It was nothing, it was like $700, which, you know, I would have been fine paying because my rent is fucking almost triple that now. So, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, like when you're an adult and you are going to stay home, like it's not your parents' responsibility to take care of you anymore. And it's not something I would necessarily do. I don't know if I would charge my like 21-year-old child rent. Maybe when you get to like 23 or 24, okay, but like the economy is way different now. Life is hard, it's hard to fucking move out. But I do think that you are the asshole for basically overstepping what her parents have told her and the boundaries that they are setting. But let's see what the comments are saying. Not the asshole. I think it would be different if she were not legally an adult, but she is 20 and can make these decisions for herself. She's probably burnt out and definitely needs a semester for therapy and rest. She's not taking advantage of anybody and is still working. It is better to take a little time off than going full steam ahead and having a breakdown later. You parented her better than her own dad in this situation. I agree, and I also disagree, because like I said, I think that her giving her stepdaughter advice is not the problem. I think it's her overstepping the boundary that her father has put in place for her, which he basically was like, okay, if you are not going to go to college, you are going to pay rent. I think that is within his right. You know, maybe I'm just harsh. I don't think so though. All of these people are saying she's not the asshole. I don't think she is the asshole for giving the stepdaughter advice, like I said, but I do think it is out of her fucking role as a step parent to say that she's going to pay her rent. You know what I mean? Because like, I feel like it is not, I mean, I don't know the father, but I do feel like the father wasn't coming from a like, oh, she's taking advantage. I think it was like, oh, she needs to have some responsibility. So the stepmom offering to pay for her rent, like, it's not about money, I guarantee. But anyways, I guess they don't think she's the asshole. I don't think she's the asshole for giving advice. I just think she's an asshole for overstepping the boundaries. Okay, guys, this one says, am I the asshole for not accepting my autistic brother? Before I read this, yeah, probably. If that is what you titled this, probably. But let's read. I, 22, have an older brother who is 26 who has autism. He moved away from home to study elsewhere 3 years ago, and that was the first time in my life I felt free. I need you all to know I don't hate him, and I do have pants on, guys. I have shorts on. I need you all to know that I don't hate him because of the autism. I hate him because he is a selfish, spoiled prick who is probably more cause of how our parents treated him growing up than his autism. My brother had a temper growing up. If someone else was already in the kitchen when he wanted to cook something, he would blow up on that person. If we said something he did not like, he would chew us out. If even the tiniest thing was unlike the way he wanted, it would be the screaming. Oh, I see. If even the tiniest thing was unlike the way he wanted it to be, the screaming would start. Okay, well, I do feel like, isn't that probably like a part of his autism? You know, like a lot of, I don't want to generalize autistic people, but I know that like having like severe OCD or needing things done a specific certain way is something that a lot of autistic people need. So I don't think that's his fault. He would keep screaming for hours. I did not feel safe in my home. Our parents would try for hours to calm him, and afterwards my parents would come to console me. My room was right next to his. They knew I heard everything, but in the end, I was the one who consoled them. Recently, my brother has started visiting home more and more. I hate it every time. I still live with my parents because I don't want student loans, so I don't have a say in whether he visits or not. But my parents keep asking me to do a bunch of stuff for and with my brother. They ask me to loan my bag to him, to drive him places, etc. Also, I don't think that's unreasonable. You live in your parents' house, you can help out with, you know, you can help out. It might be petty, but when we were growing up and we were in the grocery store with our parents, if he wanted something, he would always get it. We were not rich, so if I ever wanted something, I wouldn't get it. We couldn't afford it because I wouldn't cause a scene. Okay? It's not just that. When I was followed home by some bullies in 9th grade, I locked both the gate. It was a door that led into our front yard. When he got home, he yelled at me for locking the gate because we normally only do that during the night. I explained the situation thinking he would understand because he was bullied, but he didn't. It was my fault. I should have hurried out of the school. I shouldn't make myself out to be a victim. Okay, again, I hate to like play his autism card, but you know what I mean? Like those routines, having established routines, that could just be another sign of the autism. Like, you know what I mean? Like in the beginning, this person said it wasn't because of the autism, but like all of the things he's describing seem like things that are a result of his autism. And I understand like the whole going to the stores and like not getting anything but your brother always getting something. Like, okay, yeah, that I could see the resentment, because at the end of the day, like if your parents could sacrifice it to keep the peace by getting your brother what he wanted, they could have like at least even every now and then got you something too to feel included. I told my parents about my feelings years ago. They hugged me and apologized for not being better parents to me when I needed them. I'm not mad at them. They did the best they could. What bothered me was they said he doesn't understand any better, which it sounds like he doesn't, but okay. He was home last week and he's trying, which hurts. He's trying to engage with me. It makes me confused. I don't know what I'm feeling. Anger, sadness. Because every time he's home, I feel like that little boy I used to be, sitting under my desk with my hands over my ears, crying, trying to shut out the sound of my father's and brother's screaming, my mother's crying. I feel like the little kid who wanted nothing more than my big brother. I wanted us to be best friends, but when the only thing you get when reaching out is a foot in your face, you stop crying. You stop trying. My mother once said that he was a child when all of this happened, but so was I. Okay, so it's hard because I can't understand this because I don't have a brother with autism or a sibling with autism or anyone in my family, I mean besides my uncle. Like, I get it, but I don't get it because I've never experienced it. So what I can say is I understand where this person's resentment is coming from, because I can only imagine how difficult it is watching your parents constantly cater to your brother more than they ever did to you, and their attention always being focused on him. I completely understand that, but I feel like you are upset with him for things that very well may be out of his control, as far as what is an effect of his autism and what isn't. And I feel like it's probably hard for you to understand, you know, not struggling with autism, but I do feel like a lot of these behaviors are a result of that, and it's out of his control as well. You know what I mean? But let's see what the comments say. Not the asshole. Autism is not a get out of jail card for being an asshole. Okay. Not the asshole. Your brother is a spoiled jerk. I've met people with severe autism to the point where they can't speak and they are way better than him. Hell, my 3-year-old cousin with autism, where he can barely speak, says thank you and please, and he's the most polite person ever. He's 3 damn years old. You sound a bit neglected, not gonna lie. I hope you get help and you deserve a better brother. He's a spoiled, pathetic prick who just happens to have autism. No, I think that's harsh, especially because autism does not affect everybody the same, and so I feel like you can't compare different types of, like, we don't even know what kind of autism his brother has. You know what I mean? Like, ugh, okay. Well, it looks like all of these are saying, not the asshole. Okay, I see. I guess all these people think that he's not the asshole, but I'm not gonna lie, I think he's the asshole. I think the way he worded that, like, I feel like then if it wasn't about his, I don't know. Because it's the way he titled it, am I the asshole for not accepting my autistic brother? Like, when you put it like that, yeah, I'm sorry. You're always gonna sound like the asshole, because you say he's an asshole not because of his autism, but everything that you're complaining about, I feel like could very well be effects of his autism, so. Am I the asshole? I offended a student with my graduation gift. I'm a white female and an administrator at a university. One of my student workers is graduating and I gave her a cookbook called Watermelon and Redbirds. Okay. A cookbook for Juneteenth and Black celebrations. The student is Black. I didn't guess that. So is the author. In the foreword to the book, the author explains that she is honoring watermelon as a native African fruit in Juneteenth as liberation. It's a beautiful hardcover book with a photo of the author on the cover. The student returned the book, leaving it on my desk with a note saying, I have offended her beyond words. I texted her immediately with an apology. She has not replied. Am I the asshole without knowing what she was offended by? Could have been the watermelon? That I, a white person, gave her something related to Black culture. Okay, are you the asshole? I would say you're ignorant more than anything, because it wasn't the fact that you gave her a gift that was rooted in Black culture. It's the fact that watermelon is such a huge stereotypical stigma surrounding Black people. That's, I think, the issue. And you being a white older female gifting it to your Black student when you could have gifted her a million things, you know what I mean? Like, would you have gifted that book to a white student? Probably not. And that's not to say that I would be offended by a gift like that. I probably think it was funny, but I think that a lot of people would take offense to that because, like I said, the stereotype surrounding watermelon and Black people, and you, of all things you could gift her for her graduation, you gift her a cookbook with you give her a cookbook called Watermelon and Redbirds. Like, that doesn't even have anything to do with her graduation. You know what I mean? Like, you could have given her anything, like a heartfelt card, flowers, maybe a book on whatever career field she's going into, literally any other kind of graduation gift, but instead you gave her a cookbook with a watermelon on the front because she was black. I think you're the asshole. Let's see what the comments say. Okay. This one says, it's not the author and it's not the message within the book that's a problem. The problem is the message behind you giving the gift. You're black, here is the black person thing. Exactly. Please remember that being racist and committing a racist act are two different things. Okay, I wouldn't even go as far to say that's a racist act, okay? I'm sorry, I wouldn't. You are not a bad person, but that was a blunder. If you haven't read How to Be Anti-Racist by Ibram Kendi, I highly recommend it. He does an excellent job of distinguishing between racism in idea and racist acts in effect, also between intent and effect. Okay, I wouldn't even go as far as to say this lady is racist. I think she's just ignorant. I don't think she understands. And now she's being educated. Why did you choose this gift? Does it have anything to do with her major? If she's not a culinary arts student, huge, you're the asshole. I can't imagine your thought process on this one. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, like, why would you, she's graduating, why would you pick a cookbook with a watermelon on it? You're the asshole. Don't give students racially targeted gifts, especially if you are not the same ethnicity as them. Africa is also a whole continent. Africa is also a whole continent, and black and African people are not a monolith. Great that watermelons are native to Africa, but she might not even be from the part of Africa that watermelons are from. Would you give a white student a book called Casseroles and Mayo, a cookbook for a white celebration? It's weird. Yeah, exactly. No, exactly what I would have said. Yeah, it's just weird that, yeah, no, I agree. On to the next. That's all I have to say about that one. Am I the asshole for changing the Netflix password? I'm not even gonna read this. No, you're not the asshole, because I've given my Netflix, Disney Plus, all that shit to ex-friends. Change the password fucking immediately. We're gonna end on this one. Am I the asshole if my ex talks about me to his current wife? Yeah, you sound like a pick-me bitch already. Let's see. Little background, ex had cheated on me and married somebody else. I doubted that the other girl might not be aware of me, and I tried to tell her before their marriage, but she ignored me at the time. I probably would have too. I had posted about this in a previous post. I received a call from his wife a couple weeks back. She started crying over the call, blaming me for spoiling their life. They have been having a lot of fights, as my ex still talks about me and compares her with me all the time. I was shocked after the call because our breakup was a trauma for me. I asked her not to reach out again, as I had moved on after a lot of struggle and did not want to go back into it again. But you're still talking to her husband. Her husband. Do you understand that is her husband? You want her to back off because they're having fights because he keeps comparing you to her, comparing her to you? Probably because you are still in contact with this man and have not given him the ability to truly move forward. You are allowing him to keep talking to you, knowing your history, knowing he has a whole wife. Okay, anyways. I'm not sure what she wants from me. She started a weird thing of creating WhatsApp and Instagram group chats, including my ex, and started posting sad messages in the group. Wait, were you in there? That's weird. She keeps sending all sad posts. Why are you in there, bitch? Leave the fucking group. What the hell? She keeps sending all sad posts about how a wife deserves love and not an ex. Truthfully, yeah, she does. I blocked her multiple times, but she keeps doing that with different numbers. Okay, that's fucking weird. I have stopped using my Insta and changed my username multiple times, but oh my gosh. I have stopped using my Insta and changed my number and have not shared it with anyone except my family. So I thought it is fine, but yesterday she started sending emails. Oh my gosh. I have been using that email ID since almost 10 and have no intention of closing it. I didn't know what I was supposed to do here. I'm not asking my ex to think about me. I have not contacted him since his marriage. It is a problem from his side. Why is she involved in me? Oh, I'm sorry, B. I read that wrong. Am I the asshole if my ex talks about me to his current wife? No, you're not. I take that back. I'm so sorry. I sound like a dumb bitch. No, you are not the asshole. He's the asshole. He is the asshole. I thought that you guys were talking this whole time, so yeah, no, you are not the asshole. His wife is weird, and so is he. She's a stalker. You should probably get a restraining order. Okay, let's see what the comments say. Baby, that's stalking behavior. Exactly. Not the asshole, but please go talk to authorities. Even if they cannot do anything right now, it's best to handle the situation before it goes overboard. Yeah, because she sounds crazy, especially if she's putting you in freaking group chats. Like, that's worse than making subreddits about this situation. That is so weird. It says, not sure that this is the proper sub for you. How could you possibly be the asshole in someone else's behavior? Exactly. You cannot. It's unfortunate that she's feeling insecure, but it is not your job to address that. Don't read her messages. Do not engage. It is not your situation, so stay out of it. Yeah, but at the same time, like, okay, like, she's not inserting herself into it. The crazy fucking wife is. That husband sounds like he is not over you. It sounds like he is just as bad as the men that I've dealt with. She should leave him and stop having an issue with you because you didn't do anything. It is not your responsibility, like he kind of said, to make her feel secure in her marriage with her husband. If he keeps bringing you up, that is his issue. That is his unresolved shit. Nothing to do with you. You really should seek authority because get a restraining order. It sounds like she's unhinged. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for this Am I the Asshole subreddit. If you guys like this kind of video, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you think about some of these situations. I think this is going to be a weekly video, so if you like it, show me you like it, bitches. And thank you so much for getting me to 4,000 subscribers. I love you all. Now please start engaging more, please. It really helps the channel. And yeah, that is all, guys. I will see you in my next video.